Hi everyone and welcome to my studio. My name is Eileen Hull. First, I want to thank Kara Brandon for inviting me to this Declutter and Get Organized challenge. It has been amazing because my studio has been a mess. I can't even walk through it. I couldn't walk through it, now I can. And it's thanks to her and the pressure of doing this video that I started cleaning my basement, and I have the whole area. I'm only going to concentrate on a little bit of it this time because I'm still sorting and trying to figure out where to put everything. So I also want to thank Dana K. White because I watched some of her like 1 hour videos and gave a kind of philosophy on, or a system on how to start the process, and I did try that. However, I modified it a little bit because I have different areas and I wanted to organize according to like stations. So what you're seeing in front of you right now, well, that's my paper storage, but this is my die cutting area, my die cutting station. So I have I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I can't find my regular camera stand, so I have this thing hooked up to a paper towel thing. Anyway, I have a Calyx unit behind me. It's the 4. I wanted the 5. They were out of stock. I got the 4. I wish I had gotten 5. But anyway, I have stored all of my dies in here. And before I get going on this, I should introduce myself and what I do, kind of, because that determines what it is that, how I want to set up my studio, really, for how I work. I do 2 videos each week, 2 live videos. I work with Sizzix. I'm a designer for them, and I have a lot of dies. The dies I design are steel rule, which means they're the big ones. They look like this, and I've been designing for them for 16 years. So you can imagine how many dies and tools and supplies that I've designed and I create with every day. So I need to store them and make it make sense for me in the way that I create. I used to be over at a desk right at the bottom of the stairs, which is around the corner, but it's just too tight there and I don't have room. And every time I want to use my trimmer, I have to haul it up and put it on my desk. It's just a mess. So this way, I'm hoping to turn this into my filming area, because most of what I do is the die cutting. And so I need an overhead camera here. I need to possibly adjust the lighting, although I don't know. It looks pretty good, I think, right now. I have some nice LED lighting that my son-in-law installed for me a couple years ago. I like them a lot, except I find that they're bleaching out my papers and leather and stuff like that. So I have to just store it better in a way that it's not exposed to the lights. So all of these things factor into how you create. You need enough light to work, but you also, if you're videoing, then you don't want to glare. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, I have set up a new area, and so basically what I have is this unit here, and then I have a bunch of other drawers and things down that way, but we're not going to do those right now because what I'd like to concentrate on is how I store my dies. And these are the big ones. They're big. There's no getting around it, but they also work, and you can actually create storage out of these dies. This is one that I did a long time ago. This was a die called the candy drawer, and the difference with these are designed to work with mat board or chipboard, anything that's up to a 1/16 of an inch thick. So you can create some really sturdy, fun pieces that you can use for storage. You can make journals out of them. So I want to show you just real quick how you can make a journal. This is a phone stand. This is a die, and I just covered it with paper and I use it on my desk. So all of these things, this is a video that I did 2 days ago. This is a journal die, which I kind of altered the construction of to create like a little desk, sorter, and I love doing that. Like, I like making the things that are intended to be made, you know, with this journal. But I also like to take this, make like a little accordion folder or card holder, or do several versions of it or reconfigure it. So for me, that's a lot of fun. Also, I hope I'm allowed to do this, but if you are interested in any of this, you are welcome to join us in the Eileen Hall Fan Club. It's a Facebook group, and that's where we share our ideas, inspirations, sources, things like that. And we would love to have you. If you would just answer the questions, that would be great. And then we will let you in, because we want real people in there, not little weirdo bots or whatever. So that is what I do. Also, like I said, I do videos, live streams twice a week, Tuesday at 6 Eastern and Thursdays at 4. We have a very large international audience, so it's hard to get a good time for everybody, but a lot of people watch on replay, but also a lot of people are live, and so we share ideas there. It's a really nice community, and would love for you to join us there on that's on Eileen Hull Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It streams, you know, simultaneously. So would love to see you there, and you can kind of get more of a flavor. But what I thought I would do, if it's okay, is show you just really quickly how it works. And let me see if I can pull this down. Here's my Big Shot. I keep this right on my desk because I'm using it all the time. I would put it off to the side if I want to do something down here, but I'm going to do it here. And these are the XL cutting pads, which you need. This is the die right here, and I have to thank one of my teammates, Pam Bray, because she had the idea to put this, the packaging on the back of the die, so you always know what die it is you're working with. And then this is what the die looks like. So it's just, you know, I'm sure you guys have used dies before. I mean, most people have. And if you don't have a die cut machine, I use my Big Shot mostly. And it does fit through here, and you can make these nice sturdy boxes. So what I use to put it together is I've got a line of adhesive, and I just put a sheet of adhesive on the front of this piece of mat board, and I covered it with paper, and then I thought I would do the same so you could just really see how quick it is. You just peel the backing off, and what I like to do is I hold on to these little pieces of release paper because they work great for inking and just like a disposable mat. All right, let me just make sure. Sometimes this is really sticky, so you just want to be aware of that. And then you peel it back, and then you've got the front and back of the mat board covered with paper. Now you can use anything. I'm using some 49 and Market paper. Janine Meyerowitz is a friend of mine, and I love using her products, and Katie Pertit. So I'm just gonna put my paper on here. Now I've got my front and back covered with paper, and now I'm gonna take my die, and I'm going to place my paper, whichever side I want, on the outside of the project. Now both of these, this is one sheet of paper that I cut in half, so I like both of them. I don't care. You do have to worry about that if you're going to use like a something with text, but this one doesn't matter because the text is kind of indistinct, you know, could go either way. So I'm just gonna roll this through my Big Shot, and I'm gonna have a book cover, and then I can also use the die. Oh, I was taking my sweater with it. You don't want to do that. You can use the die also to cut your pages by taking a piece of paper and folding it in half, and then laying it on right before your score line here, and that's going to cut pages that fit exactly inside your book. But let me move this away, and we will have the unveiling of how quick and fast it is to get a book cover. All right, so here we have it, and you can see there are score lines here, so you know exactly where to fold it. And if I wanted to make a skinny book, I would fold it here and here. If I want a thicker book, I would fold it on the outer fold. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm folding. I usually lay it over the edge of a table, but look at that. We've got a book cover. Let's see which side makes more sense. I kind of like that. So I can add my lace, my little frames, whatever, and I've got a book cover that is just beautiful. And then I can add my pages inside. You can take an elastic and just tie a couple knots, and then you can slip your insert books in between them, and in just a couple of minutes you can have a really cute little book. So this is kind of what I do and what we stream around. And so anyway, what I'd like to show you is how I store these dies, because you may have some. So let's just let me just hold this whole thing here, and we can just go around and you can see. So this is all right, let's see here. Sorry about this, it's not my normal configuration. I have just started filling things in here. This is a project actually that we're working on where we're making a gift box. I'm going to cover this on Tuesday's show, and you know, but this was made from a box that is a little gift box. All right, and down here I just have a watercolor, my labeler, my handy labeler, tissues. Up here I have my embossing folders. These are some of my older ones. These are all the 3D, so I like having them right at hand. Down here I've got my Bigs dies, and these are just the small ones. These are in like a little wooden thing that just happened to fit in here, so I like them when they're whoops, it goes back a little bit further, but I like them when I can see what the thing is, and also have it right at hand in here, but it's kind of hidden, you know. I will probably get that junked up with some other stuff along the way, but these are all of my Bigs dies. All right, then we have over here, this is just going to be storage probably for paper scraps is what I'm thinking. And then these down here, so they come in 3 sizes. There's the Bigs, there's the Bigs large, and then there's the Bigs XL. So these are all you know, the large. These are all the XL, and I have several rows of them from all the time that I've been designing these things, which has been so much fun and such an honor, and I love it. So I showed you the phone stand. This is what the die looks like. On some of them I've added some foam, and what that does is helps to eject some of the pieces that stick in there sometimes. You have to keep digging it out. When you're working with mat board, it's like extra thick, and it gets stuck in those little holes and tight corners, so I put the foam on. It helps to pop them out. Some of the things that I've done, now this one, you can see this is like a QC sample. It's not a official production die, but I keep these because they work. So, and this is what I do my videos with. So this is a working die. I've written it here because I had, I was doing a demo at a trade show, and I needed to see what die it was, so I printed on that side. One thing I want to say is, don't be afraid to use your dies and to kind of tag them and put the foam on them. They're tools, and you want them to work for you. So don't be afraid to mess them up. On some of them, I have written on them actually, because like I said, if you are, you know, worried about text or something like that, and you need to have a directional paper, you're using a directional paper, you know, this is what I do. I say back. If I can read it that way, that's the back of the die, and then when you go to put it together, you put this one for the front. So just little notes for you to help with remember things. This tape also helps to have things pop off. If you have little corners sticking in, you can put on shipping tape, and sometimes that helps. I did that a while ago. I haven't done it as much lately because mostly I'm doing the foam. Just something else. If you are working with something like maybe fabric or something fuzzy, you can take a lint roller and just go over it, and that will eliminate some of the junk that you get on there. Also, I recommend that you clean your cutting pads every once in a while, because I tend to get glue on it or adhesive and it gets stuck. So I like to go ahead and do that every once in a while. This is washi tape, and the reason this is on here is because, like I said, you can use the dies to cut your pages. What you would do is just take a piece of paper and fold it over, leave the fold, and if you lay it right down this, you're going to get a nice page that will fit inside your book, okay? This is like a crash course, but I just want to explain why my stuff looks like the way it does. And that's going to be the same for everybody. You all do different things. You know, maybe you work with fabric. And so one of the things that I'm doing is, and I want to thank my friend Susie. She came down here several days and helped me haul stuff upstairs. And this is another thing that I figured out. Wait, I feel like I'm right in your face. Let me move this back a little bit. I feel like I am more of a collector of storage containers than I am products, because my whole kitchen is full of storage containers that I thought were the perfect thing. I'm a sucker for pretty colors, and so I have a lot of aqua everything. I like pink too, but I like all the colors, but you know, that's my favorite, my soothing kind of art color that I gravitate to. So I have a ton of these aqua containers everywhere in my kitchen now. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but that tells me do not ever buy another storage container again. But what I have been thinking about is I like to use my dies to create my own containers, and then I can, you know, make them in whatever color I want. This is made using two dies. It's one is the gift box in the middle. This one is called the post box. So I just cut 4 of them. I attach them to a little spinner. I have had this for 4 years and it still works. I put a slip cover on it. I'm going to make another one soon, so watch for the video. But, you know, these are so sturdy that you can really make your own containers, dividers, all kinds of fun stuff with the mat board. That's what I love. So, like I said, this is the phone stand. So the way I store them now is I will write the name of the die on the side. And what I've started doing is putting the number of it here. And what the number of it does is it tells you when, in the order of when it was created. So some of my older ones, they just, you know, I don't remember. And honestly, some of the labels are bleached out, so I can't see the number. I could look them up. I have them somewhere. But I know that they're old and they're not available anymore, so people aren't really, well, some of them are looking for them, but, you know, they're a little harder to get. But my other ones, the ones that I keep, the most recent ones, I keep right here so I can grab them and just put them in my Big Shot and make something. Did I just look up here? Oh yeah, that's the paper. Up here, I have my paper, not all of it, by any means, but I have some paper, little paper pads. Up here, you can't quite see it, and I don't want to hurt my, I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in the video, but up there I have some clear containers that I'm going to put felt and yarn, because I have a loom, so I've been doing a lot of working on my loom lately to make book bindings. And what else was I going to put up there? Fabric. I can't remember the other thing. Fabric, yarn, felt, and because I like to work with felt too. So, you know, I don't know. Are you all like me? I like to make everything, and I have stuff to make everything. So if I can combine them all in one project, that's even better. So another thing that I do use, and I don't know how I can do this. Wait a minute. Let me change my camera. I'll be right back. Maybe not. Okay guys, I'm back. I adjusted the camera and I just want to show you I've got my little Raskog cart, and this I can wheel from my other creative station to here if I want. This has all of my Thinlits dies that are currently active that I work with. And just a little tip on how I store them. These are the Sizzix envelopes, and I put the number on there and the name that's going to remind me of what it is. I don't put the whole name because it would go, you know, wrap around. I always name them dumb things. Anyway, one of the tips that I have found that works really well for me, because there are a lot of little pieces in this one, and I like having them, but I'm never sure if I'm putting them back in the right place. Sometimes I wind up with two of them. Like this one I found on the floor somewhere, so I must have opened another set because I couldn't find it, but I've got two of these. But anyway, this is like, it's called bookmark pockets and flowers, I think. And so what I've done is I went around the area with a white gel pen, or I think it was like a chalk pen, and then I know what is supposed to sit where. And if there's something missing, I'll see it. I'm probably not going to go through my garbage can, but I'll see it. It drives me crazy. It doesn't happen that much. But these are magnetic pieces that come, well, they come separate from the envelopes, but they fit in here, and they're a nice size to hold most of my Thinlits dies. Okay, so that's how I store them. And I did them in order of when they came out. That gives me a little idea of, you know, where they should be in the pile. But then again, I have the number here, and I have just a little description of what it is, so I know which one where to find what I need. I also create rubber stamps, and so those fit in this little container too. And also I like to use this paper in between the die and the material I'm cutting, and that helps to prevent the stuff from sticking in the die. So I keep all that stuff together. And this is just a wooden box that I think I found at IKEA or somewhere, but it's just nice and sturdy, and it holds them because these are heavy, and I have like broken every nail, but you can see they just fit in here on my little cart. So these are my embossing folders, which I can have a couple here, the ones I'm currently working on or not. These are some of my stencils, so these go up here too, just so I have them on hand. These are all my cutting pads, my kind of specialty cutting pads, you know, my, what's this one? Ink sheets, transfer sheet, you know, I don't use that a lot, but I have it here. These are some new cutting pads I probably need to break out. I've got my chrome precision base plate for cutting intricate dies, and then I've got my regular, you know, Sizzix sandwich. Okay, so I just keep this up here because a lot of times I switch from the XL to the smaller standard ones. I also have my little notebook in here. This is where I keep track of all my things I'm supposed to remember in my lives. And then here behind them, I've got a self-healing mat, and I probably should put my ruler back here too. I'm still working on it, but I usually put the die that I'm creating with so they can see if anybody needs it. And then I put the die in here. So this is like my project, you know, my immediately working on project area, okay? Then underneath, and I'm not sure you can see, maybe if I back it up a little bit, I've got my paper punches, I have some baby wipes. On the bottom I have inks, and then I have my stamp and stencil tool, my gel plate, and other things that I might use for a live video or just that I'm working on. The next thing that I did that I love is, and this is weird because you can't see me. Okay, so I happened to go to a thrift store, and I was with my daughter and our new little granddaughter, and we found this, I don't know where it came from. I think it is probably IKEA, but it is a 4-cube, and I was like, I am gonna put my paper in there. The other thing I should tell you is I have all of my carts, and I went to Harbor Freight and I got a bunch of these little dollies, and I put all of my big stacks of, like, I work with leather a lot, I do lives for leather company, and so I have a table over this way that I'm going to use for my leather station, and it's good because it's right near the die cut station, so I can move my little cart over there if I'm working over there. So I really am excited about this, and I think it's going to work great. I'm also always having to haul my poor Caterpillar, and I love this cutter, up onto my desk when I'm doing a live. Well, now I have a place to put it. I also have a place for my Big Shot Plus. I don't use that a lot, but it does take up a lot of space, and I'm already using this for something. I could move it if I needed to do a bunch of stuff. If I wanted to die cut, I could stand up. It's a great height for that with the wheels on it. This is some pattern, or this is plain paper in rainbow order in little file folders, and this is, I think, all my stencils are in there. These are, I love how big these are. These are some of my larger dies that will not work in this background. And what I forgot to tell you is what I have in between here. So I have 2 layers. Let me move this up a little so you can see. Sorry of the switching back and forth. Okay, so what I forgot to tell you was I can do 2 layers of these dies. If what I did was I took a sheet, I cut it to you know, the dimension of the unit, and I just lay a sheet of white or black foam core, so it kind of blends in with the you know, the dies here. I cut it and lay that on top of the first layer of them, then I can slide in another layer, and they perfectly fit, and I still have room to get my hands in there. I love it. I've had this system for quite a while, and because I write the names of the dies on the side, I can find them. So it's great, and I'm not going to mess with it. I may rearrange them in order of when they came out and all that, but that's kind of a fine-tuned thing. On the bottom here, let me just put this down a little bit more. I have some storage containers that I found at Big Lots. They were going out of was it Big? Oh no, these were at Dollar Tree. I found these at Dollar Tree, and they were $5, but you know, and these perfectly hold all of my, not all of my paper, but a lot of my paper. And I can just slide in the whole bin. When I need to look for paper, I can just kind of thumb through. That one over there is all 49 and Market, and they also have all the embellishments. It's pretty heavy though, so keep that in mind. Excited to keep going with this. I have the momentum. I can walk through my studio. Maybe someday I could invite people down here. That is my dream, but even in the meantime, it works for me. And because everything is on these wheels from the little dollies, you know, I'm able to move them out of the way if I need to get in and get something. I still am sorting through. This is 23 years worth of stuff that I have not gone through, because honestly, I do a lot of traveling, and you know, when I come home from a class or a trip or something, I pack everything in the clear tubs from Costco, but a lot of times they're mixed up, and you know, and I just don't go back and put everything back where it should be. So I'm really trying to do that. My second thing is I am trying not to buy as many storage containers, but they're tempting because I love tins, and I love like wooden boxes and like recipe boxes, and you know, all of that stuff. I like the vintage look. And so it's hard for me to cut myself off from that, because it's fun to go to thrift stores and, you know, find one for 50 cents. But I'm really going to try not to do that. And eventually, like I said, maybe I can show you this room. I'm still working on it, but I've gone through every box and labeled it. And I didn't sort through like what to get rid of, because it's just too much. You know, I just couldn't do it. So I put it in a container. I will get back to it, and I will get rid of some of it. Some obvious things I threw out. I was really happy because my daughter's, well, my granddaughter's preschool takes like they love any kind of scrapbooking items. So some things that I had from, 10 years ago, the kids aren't going to care. And I have been buying things for the grandkids too, to play with, stickers and things like that. So I just gave them to the school, and I think I haven't heard don't give me any more, so I think they like it. I have a lot of mat board because that was what I did prior to my designing for Sizzix. I worked with mat board, and I did calligraphy, and I did little sayings and matted and framed them, and also magnets I made out of mat board. So I have tons of little squares of mat board, and I thought that's a great size for a kid to create with. So I was happy to pass along some of my treasured stuff. And some of it was not treasured. It was like, yeah, go ahead, take it away. But, anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I want to again thank Kara and Dana, because you got me started on this, and I still have the ideas in mind that, Dana, your system, and I'm watching all of the videos, and I'm going to link below in the description. If you want to go through and follow the whole 30-day collaboration, I would recommend it, because you're going to see, like, not 30, I'm not sure how many people are in this, but some of my heroes that I actually watch, Corey Dahman, Gail Augustinelli, Cassie, Cassandra Louise, Erin Reed, those are friends of mine. Well, Erin and Cassie are, and I would love to be friends with Corey and Gail, but I feel like I know them, and I love, because I'm nosy, I love seeing everybody's ways that they store things and how they work, really, because I think how you store things tells a lot about your process. And a lot of times I'm busy making kits, so I want to streamline this so it's easy for me. Your studio is going to be different, but they're all great, and they reflect each of us. So I love seeing what everybody does with theirs, and I'm getting a lot of tips on creative ways to organize my things. And anyway, I am loving it. So thanks again for including me, and I will be doing another video like this, but it's gonna be a while, so I'm still working on it, guys. But that's life. So you gotta live while you can live, and the organizing will always wait. But I am really trying to do like a couple hours a night, because I feel like I'm just not going to make any progress, and things are going to get backed up again, and I don't want that to happen. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd love to join the fan club, please do. If you'd like to join the fan club, please do. Eileen Hall Fan Club and Facebook. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because if you're interested in some of these book things that we're doing, we do books and boxes and cards. We do all kinds of stuff, because all the dies are very versatile, and that's what I love about them, that you can use them in so many different ways in your junk journals and just everything. It's just so much fun to create, and I would love to share some of my tips with you. All right, so thanks everybody, and stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Here's just a couple little things that I forgot to show. This is some more paper up here, and these little cubbies, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them yet, but keeping them open because I'm sure something will fill them up. These are some other drawers that I have that are like Michael's, I think, and I've got some paper in there and some other elastic cord and things like that. This up here is for my ring light and stuff like that, which I'm not using, but this is where I wanted to put the yarn and the felt and fabric and something else. I haven't figured out what yet, but supplies that I can find and see, remember what's in there. What else? I think we did all these, and this is how these work with that piece of foam board, you know, in between. It really works well. It distributes the weight so that nothing is, you know, it's easy to pull these out. You know, you just need a little thing and off you go. So I also have another set of shelves that have duplicates. It has, because I teach, and so sometimes I have multiple, like the storage box, you know, I just finished classes with that, so they're in here. So, you know, I have extra stuff. This is an old cassette tape box that, these are some of my other older Biggs dies, like flowers, and I also have an alphabet up here, which is like a big alphabet, so I like that one. And then this is some loose paper. It's pretty old, but I need to go through it and see what I really want to keep. But down here is a box of some other Sizzix supplies, like, you know, effects paints and things like that, that I want to keep all the Sizzix stuff together. Here's another look at this cube unit here with the paper at the bottom, and then the plus size dies and the storage for the paper scraps, and then up here is the plus and the caterpillar. And then I also put this rug is horrible, but it's cement floor, so it's better than nothing. I still have to keep vacuuming. But this is where the scrap will go from when I do the caterpillar. This is the little wheelie thing. This one I used a big one. They're like $20, and the little one I think is $13. So this is paper down here, and this is extra mat board over in the corner. I've got a little garbage can, my spray, and then here is my desk, and you know, I have a lot more room. This here is a piece of it's flooring, and I just clamped it because it had been rolled up, and so I kind of clamped that to the desk so it doesn't curl. But I like it a lot, and it's got like a little cushion on it, so you know, it's just nice to work on. I would put another self-healing mat down if I was doing inking or something like that, but here's our little book that we made. Also, I should say, why not? I'll make a plug. My dies are available in my Etsy store, and it's just called Eileen Hull Etsy store if you think you might be interested in, you know, getting into it. So that is just another look. Here is that cardigan from up, you know, up from above. And then there's also this little side thing, which I could put some more tools in there if I wanted. I'm sure more things are going to get filled in here, but this is just what I have for now, okay? So I think I'm really happy with my little new spot, and there you go. That's it. Happy creating.